Season's greetings from the PDP. I am Dr. Sean Ned, Chairman of the Progressive Democratic Patriots, representing the executive of the PDP. I welcome all listeners, including all of our members and Trinidad and Tobago, the greater international community and the media. Given what has been circulating publicly regarding the PDP, I'm here to speak on and give clarity on several matters that focus on the party known as the PDP. These will involve the following. 1. The resignations of the PDP-nominated assemblymen. 2. Allegations being levied against the PDP by previous members of the party. 3. The next steps for PDP. On point 1, the resignations of the PDP-nominated assemblymen. As chairman of PDP, the tally of resignations of PDP-nominated assemblymen have been received and are accepted. We note that a public letter was penned with the relevant assemblymen signing the documents indicating their resignations from the PDP. We do hope that such a decision did not include the strong-arming of assemblymen to sign the joint resignation in order to show some sort of strength in their choice. We can understand the pressure placed on the more neutral assemblymen. However, even though the party promotes discussion, their resignations have made this option very difficult. We do recognize that each assemblyman is a party unto themselves and can therefore make their own individual choices. We also note that even as independents in the THA, the PDP knows very well how these persons can personally function, as they were screened accordingly by the PDP. For the sake of Tobago, we hope that they can function in their THA positions granted through nominations by the PDP. However, these resignations, particularly in their timing, came as a shock to the executive of the party. No indication was given to the executive regarding the intent to leave the PDP, with no opportunity for discussion. The act of leaving your political party comes with consequences, including strong negative implications and personal labels. It is seen as an abandonment of the ideals of the party under which we all banded together as members of this party. They, the independents, have unfortunately placed themselves in a position where immediate distrust is required as it pertains to their existence in any party, since they now must own a history of abandonment. We are left to only guess that these resignations were done to purposefully attempt to dismantle the party. Of course, this is not happening, and the party moves forward. No official explanation or understanding has since been shared with members, including the party executive, on the motive behind these resignations and the next steps for those persons or independents. In terms of why these independents may have left, this will be addressed. In terms of the abandonment of the objectives of the party, let's note one of them. In Part 2.14 of the PDP Constitution, the objective of the party is to organize and maintain democratic socialization in Tobago as a state, then the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, and in all houses of legislature by bringing together members and supporters who share the party's ideology, principles, and values to develop policies, empower and strengthen communities through collective action and support, and by promoting the election of PDP at all levels of the democratic process in Tobago, then Trinidad and Tobago. This one statement clearly states that the party promotes democracy and expects our members in any legislature to work with the party in order to promote our common ideals. Has this objective been rejected by the independents? Did they understand what this fully means? And what are the current objectives of the independents? At this point, it is important to understand an obvious point that all PDP members, like in any party or organization, accept that they are subject to all sections of the constitution of that party. It is also understood that upon resignation, that an admittance to being subject to the constitution of the PDP when they were members has just occurred. As such, the constitution of the PDP prescribes to much of the actions of the party and its executive regarding the PDP assemblymen, who all agreed to all parts of the constitution of the PDP without contestation, since there is always an opportunity for any member to submit changes. Therefore, for most of my response, I will focus on the constitution of the party to clear up much of the misinformation that has been spread in the public arena. The constitution version that was ratified by the party is labeled PDP Constitution, Final for Distribution, 22nd November 2019. Thus, we move on to point number 2, the allegations being levied against the PDP by previous members of the party. The first one is that the party or the PDP is not democratic. The PDP constitution, like any constitution, can be reviewed. However, it has provided clear ways to promote democracy in the party. A clear example was seen in the very public elections of the first National Executive Council in the PDP summit in November 2019. The democratic leanings of the party were also apparent in the screening process and action group selection of candidates for elections. In a larger sense, the mandates of the PDP were derived from consultations with Tobagonians in order to represent their interests, which demonstrates democracy in terms of recognizing the needs of the people. Clearly, the PDP is democratic, as reflected in numerous podium statements by PDP candidates during elections who are now assemblymen. In another allegation, the PDP is a one-man party. We believe this forms the main reason for the resignations. The PDP as a one-man party is impossible in the framing and operations of the party. The political leader has a large role to play in the party, which is expected and constitutional. However, much of the running of the party has been decentralized. The main administrator of the party is the chairman of the PDP, myself, and there are executives associated with action groups and constituency councils that take action under the party name without signing off by the political leader. Furthermore, from about mid-2020, the party executive designated Mr. Fali Augustine as leader of the team, which is an unconstitutional label in the PDP, but it allowed the then deputy political leader to take on roles of the political leader, including running the strategy committee meetings, procuring party financing, liaising with the party chair for administration, and running for THA as chief secretary-elect. These choices in favor of Mr. Augustine fall under the rule of the political leader, who permitted this occurrence even after an attempt to remove him from the National Executive Council by Mr. Augustine. In an executive meeting following the loss in the general elections in 2020, Mr. Augustine gave an ultimatum to the executive that either he leaves the party or Mr. Duke leaves the PDP. A vote was done in the NEC, the National Executive, which rejected this approach, since the executive was minded to keep both persons with the largest political capital in the party. The political leader took a compromising position by allowing Mr. Augustine to take on its stated role as leader of the team without his contestation, which included his reduced role in the public media. The political leader kept his promise for about 2 years, with the understanding that he would be able to collaborate with Mr. Augustine as Chief Secretary as equals, and that he can pursue other directions for the PDP as political leader. Mr. Augustine purposefully left out non-candidate members of the National Executive, including the chairman, from attending any and all strategy committee meetings. As such, Mr. Augustine has not properly liaised with the PDP chairman on matters regarding administration of the party. Mr. Augustine and the other independents have not accounted to the National Executive Council on any finances received on behalf of the party and are again called upon to do so. In these cases, it is not the political leader who has operated as a one-man party. Other allegations is that the political leader and the chairman wish to control the THA. Again, this cannot be true. In terms of the chairman having influence over the THA, I would have to be placed into key THA positions, including perhaps councillor, secretary, or advisor positions. It seems to me that this was not considered by the assemblymen. All that was available in terms of monitoring the actions of the THA is an appeal to the PDP constitution regarding the duties of PDP assemblymen during their tenure in the THA. In 8.9 of the PDP constitution, the duties, powers, and responsibilities of the National Executive shall include, but are not limited to, calling meetings of any unit of the party as required, including any party member who is a member of the Tobago House of Assembly or the Parliament of Trinidad and Tobago. Also, in 12.3 of the same constitution, the Strategy Committee shall collaborate with all elected and nominated party representatives and members who hold office in Parliament, Tobago House of Assembly, and state bodies. It was under at least these sections of the PDP constitution that clearly the political leader, chairman, and National Executive Council can call into account its PDP members in the THA. This was agreed to by the current Chief Sec as a member of the National Executive Council. The NEC further discussed this matter with the Chief Secretary in order to indicate that it would respectfully not interfere in the daily operations of the THA, and in return to at least expect to call PDP member meetings with PDP assemblymen reporting. Only one was done in April 2022, meaning that this reporting requirement was recognized by all assemblymen. To obtain reports on translating the PDP mandate items into THA policy, none has ever been received despite consistent requests of and promises from the Chief Secretary. And that assemblymen work with action groups through their chairs. In many cases, the assemblymen have attempted to take over the operations of PDP action groups. There are other allegations, but none of them hold weight as it pertains to the party. We now move on to the third point, which is the next steps for the PDP. The PDP stands as the only proper option to represent the people. It stands as an organized group in existence for over 6 years. It is a properly registered group with the EBC for political activities. The PDP is also registered as an NGO to pursue our goals that include socio-economic development in Tobago and Trinidad. The party has its bank accounts in order and conforms to proper accounting and anti-money laundering practices. The PDP is made up of members who pursue common ideals that have been stated at all times, people before politics. The organization continues to follow its ideals and is continuing to work towards realizing its goals. The executive with all positions remain duly constituted until our AGM is called. This organization has been under constant battle with 4 elections held in 4 years, which has a negative effect on much needed administration, and we look forward to having consistent meetings with our members. The executive of the party will be reintroduced to the public. The party will be re-enacting proper membership in good standing practices. The party will also hold a membership meeting soon in order to speak with our members in good standing. The PDP also has made serious inroads into Trinidad and will continue to do so and will win the local elections with the support of the people. All parties have internal squabbles which are fixed. Unfortunately, there is a history in Tobago of not maintaining their political groups in a proper way, and they default to dissolving. There is a saying that the only way a group can exist is if its members simply show up and commit to doing the necessary work. The PDP has demonstrated that it remains resilient. We continue to accept membership, and we have set plans to initiate for the benefit of the people in both Tobago and Trinidad. So let's briefly recap. 1, the resignations of the PDP assemblymen is shocking, but have been accepted by the PDP executive. 2, the constitution of the PDP was accepted by all assemblymen in order to be nominated. 3, the constitution makes it clear that the PDP is democratic, decentralizes power from the leadership, recognizes the authority of the political leader, and demands that the PDP assemblymen report to the party on their actions. 4, discussions with the Chief Secretary and assemblymen demonstrated agreement with the constitution of the PDP prior to their resignations. 5, the party made a commitment to work with the assemblymen and the people of Tobago. 6, any and all allegations on the party name, the PDP, are rejected. 7, the party remains ready to serve the people of Tobago and Trinidad. Thank you all for your attention on this matter, and do enjoy the rest of your holiday.
Right, so I know previously Mr. Duke kept saying, if you all don't like the PDP, etc., get out of my party. Mr. Duke kept saying that. So previous members decided to resign. What did you expect them to do?
Well, as I'm explaining, the party stands as a democratic institution. It's just the straight up point. Mr. Duke can say, and it's true, he is registered as the owner of the party. That's formalized in the EBC. Every party must be registered in the same way. So that's a true statement. He is also the founder of the party. That is also a true statement, right? In terms of saying who owns a party, like the way in which people are taking it, it is owned by all of the members of the party. That's the truth of the matter, right? But in terms of the running and designations and how things happen in the party, the political leader has a huge say-so, and that is ratified in the constitution of the party.
So now, in terms of the present situation here, are you saying that knowing that the present members, the former members who were previously members, are you saying now that knowing that they came into office on a PDP ticket, are you saying that Tobago should go back to the polls?
I'm not going to comment on THA matters at all. I'm going to stick with the party matters. Right now, the issue is making sure that our party is in a proper direction. In terms of THA, Mr. Duke himself can speak on those matters.
But I know they came in on a PDP ticket.
Yes, that's true.
They have labeled themselves independents. So therefore, the PDP still has a part there, knowing that they were former members and they came in on a PDP ticket. Any views on them remaining in office?
In terms of them being PDP members, they have made a decision to not be PDP members. So in terms of how they operate in the THA, that's for them to say. We don't have any further connection with the individuals.
the executive, the 15 members of the executive council, did you have any more resignations from members of the party?
We didn't receive any, at least no official resignations from the other members of the party.
And then what were some of the things that, like, what have you had those conversations with the membership about what's happening? Because we're hearing that what's Nick saying, you know, get all the party, the chief secretary, and they made that decision to leave. But have there been any conversation with the membership of the party to sort of, you know, steady the ship, so to speak?
On this specific matter, not particularly. As I was saying, the intention is to have a party-wide meeting, but we have a lot of administration or administrative needs to deal with. So as we are handling this, we will eventually have a larger discussion with members. However, we've been having discussions, personal discussions with key members, and people are understanding in a better way what's really going on. And this is why it was important for me to clarify a lot of things today.
Would you say the PDP remains a strong party at this time? Or?
I mean, as I was saying, right, the party is in a position where it has to keep fixing itself, right? This issue is not expected. It's shocked us, right? Those persons were selected in order to do a job, and we expected them to do that job with the party. That has stopped. But that doesn't mean the rest of the party has suddenly fallen. The rest of the party still exists. It has a large administrative arm that can operate, and it's constantly doing so.
What members of the executive council of the PDP remain?
Right now, we have myself, we have the officially the General Secretary, Assistant Secretary, the Membership Mobilization Officer, the Treasurer. I hope I'm not missing anybody. Of course, the political leader. All right. I think I have everybody on the list. Mm-hmm.
Now, you said that some of the members that resigned did not properly account for the finances of the party for their responsibilities and so on. Could Mr. Duke and all the other members currently account for their part in how the finances and the accounts were dealt with?
What I have is information from what we would have dealt with. Anything I would have signed off on, I have documentation to show that. All right. Information from the political leader. I also have information to help with that as well. Right. What is key is that from the time of the last couple of elections, that responsibility was left to Mr. Augustine. And the idea was to make sure that the administrative needs of the party was maintained. And one of those needs is to make sure that you have proper accounting, proper financial accounting. And as I said, that we never got any information from that period. With no further questions? All right. So thank you, everyone.